my magnificently musically inclined musician, Eric. And to my wonderfully astute assistant, Rose. And to myself, my name is Cornelius the Collector. I used to be a TSA bag inspector until I decided to do something better with the time I was given. So I became an eschatologist, RO. That stands for realistic optimist. And that's all I can really be, you see, in light of things.
Pish posh.
You might say.
Oh my gosh!
You might say, but what does that really mean? An eschatologist is concerned with the destiny of mankind and what happens to all at the end of time. I am curious about our last day of days, the part that we play in it, and if we have any say in it. And as for the things I collect, why, I collect the stuff of stories, both the exciting and the boring, the things that were, the things that are, the things that will be, the bits, the bobs, the trinkets charged with narrative energy. And now that all the initial questions have been answered, and introductions have been made, I would like to invite you all on a little journey with us. There is no need to be afraid. Look up there! What do you see? Well, yes, but beyond all that. The stars, and the sky, and the clouds, and the trees, and the lake. Everything out there is in a large part responsible for why you are here in this very spot. Without those things, this moment would not exist. And therefore you, in this moment, would not exist either. Imagine. And let us take a moment to appreciate this moment. Look down. Can you feel it? There is so much happening beneath us. And I bet it looks something like this. At the center, there is a solid core foundation, surrounded by a layer of molten liquid metal, surrounded by a more gelatinous layer atop which tectonic plates sit, constantly shifting and settling. Atop that, there is rock and mineral, and finally, atop that, all living things. Wow! There are microbes, breaking down organic matter and turning it into rich soil. There is a giant network of mycelium covering nearly the whole Earth. And there are the worms, wiggling in the dark in such silent beauty and what are we? Hello, sir. Hello, little worm. I've never heard your kind speak before.
'Tis okay, sir. We're often overlooked. But that is why I am here today. We've been silent for far too long, us invertebrates. So now if you would please hear our voice. And if you would be so kind as to help me with my little scroll. Thank you. The Manifesto of the Intently Industrious Invertebrates. We, the invertebrates of the world, being a free species of this free earth, demand recognition for our exhaustive efforts to restore and replenish the soils of this planet. We demand to no longer be considered slimy or gross or mere bait. We insist on no longer being stepped upon or disregarded when we are washed out onto sidewalks and streets and struggle back to our earthen homes. We would no longer like to be considered spineless, but an allegorical spine to the cycle of life, as we are an integral part to lower food chains and cycles of growth for plants, animals, and humans alike. here this day. Would you please join me in a wiggle of support?
Why, yes. Let's wiggle.
Oh, friends, thank you so much. I can feel your support right down to my allegorical spine.
I must tell Mum. Cornelius, would you mind placing me back in that pile of dirt at the bottom of your cart? Why, certainly, friend. One moment. What a lovely worm. I would like to commend our friend for his eloquent plea of recognition and celebration. It allows us to get into the nitty-gritty of why we are here with you fine folks this day. Ultimately, we are here
To aid in the critically essential effective efforts to resist the gloom of our own making.
personified here as a blobfish.
Poor blobfish.
But friends, dare you ask what gloom? Gloom. Can you not feel it? Things are shifting and changing like the very tectonic plates we live atop. We've entered a new era, one in which nearly every human and non-human I've come to know is incredibly overwhelmed. But with so much news, and so much of it negative, it keeps filling up that pocket of stress between your shoulder blades, which eventually manifests itself as gloom. Much like the overstuffed storage units of the world, this gloom grows with our daily consumption. I've spent some time compiling this chart. As you can see, gloom levels have skyrocketed, leaving us at wit's end. If you look here, these are the things that lead to an increase in the gloom rate. There is our ever-accumulation of stuff and things. There is our ever-persistent negative self-talk. There are all of the negativisms, you know. Ageism, sexism, racism, dare I say, capitalism. And of course, general anxiety. But, after thoroughly studying this chart, and more importantly, experiencing life firsthand, we must conclude that
We live in an ever-changing and uncontrollable reality.
yes, and that is essential to remember, and important enough to bear repeating.
We live in an ever-changing and uncontrollable reality.
And the more we can recognize this, the more we can realize that there is wiggle room in the ever-changing. And that can provide opportunities for
Positive forward work.
Towards
what comes next, utilizing realistic optimism. Realistic optimism, a definition. 1. The acceptance of what has already occurred, with the belief that through hard work, practical strategies, and open dialogue, things can change for the better. 2. The belief that goodness has, is, and will continue to pervade reality. And 3. The knowledge that this process is both an inward one and an outward one. Which leads us finally to this. An unconventional reflection on some things that simply must be considered.
What if the world was made out of squirrels? What if the girl was a boy, was a girl? What if the sun was a big giant pearl? What if? Oh, what if I were you and you were me and money really did grow on trees and all that stuff
young self, did you then comprehend what it meant to be alive? Do you comprehend it now? Can you actually imagine a time when humans, as a species, were the minority? When is the last time you grew a plant from a seed? Do you think it is in any way cruel to give a dog a name?
What if people could compromise? What if there was honesty over lies? What if when people looked down they saw sky? And what if hello is the start of goodbye? What if you say, what if today was just another day? Do you ever crave more space than the ceiling over your head allows? Are you in any way angry at your phone? Does it deeply concern you that the things we throw away don't just disappear?
When is the last time you experienced sheer exhilaration? What has been irrevocably spoiled for you?
What if I see different colors than you? What if the ocean had a voice too? Enough with the plastics already! What if we're living in one giant zoo? What if? Oh, what if people could live on the moon? Don't you worry, we'll get there soon. But what if then we start destroying the moon after we suck all we can out of this planet, and we start eating it because after all, despite what they say, it might really be made out of cheese, and then we start mining asteroids for resources, and then we start sucking all we can out of space. Nah.
A moment, friends, to appreciate those humans and non-humans who have already seen their last day of days. And to the 41,415 endangered plant and animal species on this planet, as seen through the eyes of the Carolina parakeet, a brilliant bird who once inhabited the low forested river valleys of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, but can no longer be found. Thank you.
What if there are other worlds out there? What if we see day with no polar bears? What if we all had electric blue hair? And what if politicians decided to care? What if you say, what if today was the only day?
What is the kindest thing you almost did?
Does anything about the abrupt start and end point of a line make you anxious?
What about the sharp corners of a triangle? What about circles? When is the last time you felt a true sense of belonging?
How do you feel about dragonflies? How do you feel about drinking straws?
Is there anything that you would die for if no one could know you died for it?
What if an hour was really a week? What if we could only communicate and speak? Eek! What if we never ever had to brush our teeth? What if? Oh, what if the earth decided to rebel? Shook us all up and all the cities fell. How many of us would go straight to hell?
You know, if it exists. Come now and let us wake up from this spell. What if you say, what if today was the last day? How does it make you feel to know that if we could somehow repair the grasslands of the world, in under 15 years, they would sequester nearly all of the carbon that has been warming our planet? How does it make you feel to know that the day you are forgotten is not until the day when the last person who remembers your name also passes? If loneliness does not come from being alone, but from the inability to communicate the things that seem important, what is important to you? What exactly is it about death we're afraid of? What if today was the last day? Friends, let's take a deep breath. That was a lot. But you've passed with flying colors.
You get a minus.
We have just considered so many things. But what's more is we have considered them in the space of our own minds together. We have begun the inward process. The outward is up to you. But
remember the dragonfly.
Remember the dog.
remember the words. And now, one last thing before I go. I would like to do a somewhat social experiment of sorts, and I'm going to need 2 of you lucky people to come up here and help my lovely assistant. Great. Please come down. Thank you.
That one.
Okay, great. You're going to stand exactly there, right here. Perfect. And you're going to stand exactly here. Thank you. What? You're going to do this, yes, basically, but I want you to keep your little fingers here so that you can be the tensioner. Thank you. And you're going to let it slide through your fingers as it scrolls across. Thank you. Okay. Now, what I need from you all is would you please read the words, for those of you who have good eyesight, read the words on the scroll as the tiny boat passes over them.
It is humanly possible.
Because it's humanly possible. Thank you. We can choose to joyfully participate because it is humanly possible. Friends, after all, a realistic optimist is all I can be. As an eschatologist, I know that our last day of days is coming. But I also know that a very wise person once said that out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field. And when the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to even talk about it. And friends, one day, perhaps one day soon, we will meet you there.